Had a lot of rain past couple of weeks, so I'm gonna feed some sugar water to the bees and see how they have been going with their resources, because we have been having some very unexpected weather, because the rainy season is supposed to be finished in November. So I'll see how they're doing in terms of finding resources. Okay, so they're building out the last two frames, which is good. I'm just gonna check to see if they have some good pollen and nectar storage. And that's it. There's this propolis in here. Oh my god. Next is the nuke. Let's see how they are doing in the nuke. Okay, so there's not a lot of building up. There's no building up at all at the current moment. All the frames in the super looks like this. So maybe they're doing some building up still in the brew box, in the brew chamber. And kind of going through a bit of a turf. So maybe that's why. But I still have good hopes. As you can see, there's a lot of bees. And it's been how long? I think it's been 2 weeks or 3 weeks since I had the super on. I would have to go back and look to be sure. We have a bee on here. We don't want to squash any bees. Okay, alright, I think it's safe that I can put this back on and come back and monitor within a couple weeks. Seems as though I'm getting some water on my box. Is there any advice you can give on how to avoid this on my cover for the nuke? This is the box I'm most concerned about. The same box I have been struggling with the wax moth, but you can see there is some evidence that there still is wax moth in here. So I need to check the frames to make sure that the wax moth larvae aren't eating all the resources, because last time I checked, that was the issue. And the bees are moving a kind of slow, sluggish way. And I cleaned up the box, but they're looking quite a bit, not as sluggish as they were, but I would look and see. And it's been a week now, so I will be able to see if I have a really bad case. I can see some in the corner here. Right. Okay, I had taken up one of the frames because it had wax moth. So I put it in the freezer for like 2 or 3 days. I never melt back that wax and the comb and make fresh foundation. Well, I'm happy to say I have some resources. Ah, yes, I can see some nectar in here. I'm happy about that. Very, very happy about that. And you see the bees are not moving as slow and sluggish as before. I am very happy about that. This side of the same frame doesn't have any resources, but I'm happy to see something is on the other side. Just gonna do a quick inspection of all these frames, and you see they are not looking as sluggish as before. I'm very proud, very happy. I'm fighting the good fight with the wax moth. I'm fighting the good fight. I'm not gonna give up on this hive at all. Excuse my sniffles. And I think I see some larvae in here. As you can see, no pollen as yet. That is a major concern for me. I'm just gonna give it a slight blow. So you can see there's some larvae in here, which means the queen has been laying, but she has not been laying as much as before because of the wax moth. Oh yeah, look. There's some young larvae in there. Oh Lord. So I'm gonna look for some deal eggs and hopefully I'll be able to see some so I'll know that yes, they're trying to get back on track. There was a bee that I was looking for. Just want to show you guys the amount of pollen the bee had on its legs. It was not a lot, which shows that they're not collecting a lot of pollen, but they're getting some nectar. So many bees. I need to give it a blow. Okay, I found a bee with some pollen. Very nice. Very nice. But there's not a lot. I see a bee here with something on its back. I don't know what on earth is that. Is that something from a flower or something? If you can see very carefully, there is a bit of pollen in here. So it seems this frame is the frame that they're really working the pollen substitute. Sorry, not the pollen substitute. They're really working, storing the pollen on this comb. And I will have to try now and see if I can feed them the pollen substitute and if they will take to it, because they didn't take to it in my previous video and I had removed the box with the pollen substitute. So I will make some pollen patties, come back, put it on top of the frames and see how it goes. There's so many bees here I can't even see the queen. Most likely the queen is amongst this bunch. This, oh, look, another bee. Give it another blow. Give it a blow. Just want to see if there's any deal eggs in here. Ah, yes, some more pollen storage here. We have some young larvae in here. Some young larvae. Nice, nice. But I'm not seeing any deal eggs. I don't know if it's because of the light, because sometimes when you are looking at the frame, you have to have a certain amount of good lighting. And outside is kind of, well, it's early morning. And the trees are blocking some of the sunlight. So I have to raise the frame up to see as much as I can. I'm seeing some bees with this thing on their back. Everybody advise me and tell me what it is. But for those who don't know, but yeah. This frame looks pretty good. Don't see any problem with the wax moth. So that's 2 more frames I had to take out this box. So now I'm down to 4 frames in this 10 frame Lanstroth box. It's crazy. Dealing with the wax moth is crazy, honestly. Alright, so I'm gonna close up the box. Feed them some sugar water. And that is it for today's inspection. Closing up so there's no squishing of the bees. Time for some sugar water. Some sugar syrup. Just gonna get this a little. Oh my god, the weather has this looking so dirty. Okay, give it a rinse. Splash it back in there. Make sure it has a good slow drip. Okay. There's a bit runny. A lot runny. And this is a shake. Alright guys, so it seemed that if the cover was blocked and it needed a little clearing, so I just got a pin and cleaned it. As you can see through the hole, so that's why the sugar water wasn't coming out. I'm gonna put back in the feeder. Let's see how the sugar water is dripping from here. It's very runny. However, I'm gonna put it in here still. And I have the time right now to mix it thick and see how it goes. Because from what I've been told, too runny can drown the bees.